Welcome to the Film Garage 28 podcast. My name is Sarah and this is Daniel.
Hello.
We have Jason and Jaxson. You are here to talk about Ascend Chiropractic?
Chiropractic. Yeah.
Okay, so how did you get started? What is your business?
Ooh,
That's your story to begin with.
Yeah.
So.
Well, do you want to know how I got started as a chiropractor, or how the business got started?
Let's do a general, your business. What's your business first? And then
Okay.
we'll dive into you specifically.
Because it's a pretty long story.
Oh, okay.
No, it's really good. No,
Buckle
so
up.
I graduated chiropractic school in 2013.
Okay.
2012, I guess, and right at the end of the year. And so we actually moved to Boise, my wife and I. She's from Boise, so we decided to go to Boise and start out my chiropractic office. And in chiropractic world, it's a little bit different than maybe other medical professions where you can go work at a hospital, stuff like that. You either have three options. You either work for yourself, you work for somebody, or you are kind of an independent contractor where you rent space and essentially still work for yourself.
Yeah.
So I went and started Van Sickle Chiropractic. It was really original. It was really awesome.
Van Sickle?
Yeah, that's my last name. That's why I go by Dr.
ask.
Jason.
Okay.
That didn't last.
To not confuse people.
Yeah, are you Dr. Van or
What a
Dr.
surprise.
Sickle? We
Yeah,
can't.
yeah. And so nobody ever knows. And so we started our own practice, and I had this delusion of entrepreneurship that you go and you say what your name is and what you do, and people just show up. And it was great. So I lived with my mother-in-law and worked inside another person's office and
In Boise.
okay. And did shows. I went to the Home and Garden show. I went and did scans. I did all sorts of stuff. I had no vision.
Just
at
to
all.
get yourself out there
It was
anywhere
ju-
you can.
Well, it was just like, please
Like
show
you were
up.
doing vendor stuff?
Yeah, it was great.
Which is hard. It's always tough when you see a chiropractor like a vendor because you're not going to do it there.
Well,
Or
right.
Can you?
Yeah. Well, and everybody always has the like, oh, can you just, right now? And you're like, no,
Just
come
like,
on in.
shut
up. Anyway, so we did that for about 3 years and it did not work. I mean, we just couldn't get off the ground.
Sure, that was exhausting. That's a lot of effort going
It
to
was a lot of effort, but and this is why I was really excited about this podcast because on the entrepreneurial aspect of it, I really didn't have any way of going. I was literally just trying to put my name out there and do what I knew how to do, which was be a technician and not really
do your job.
right, do my job and not really grow
totally.
a business, right?
Yeah.
And so I learned a lot. I got lucky. This is terrible to say I got lucky. He broke his pelvis and I had to go and help him because he couldn't stand up. And so,
Perfect timing.
but it worked for me because I got to learn, like, he was in a business where it was very successful. He'd been there for 40 years. And so I got to kind of finally get some flow. And about that time, I got a call from a guy here in Idaho Falls who I knew known his brother. And he said, hey, come on over and interview with me. And I'm doing a lot of pregnancy, pediatric type stuff. And that's kind of what I was really interested in. And so came over, interviewed with him, and ended up working really well and started working with him. So I came over and switched from owning my own practice, closed it up, left in the dead of the night. I don't think anybody said goodbye. I think they were like, peace out. And started working with this other doctor, and it was great. We had a great relationship, and I learned a lot. He taught me how to really have a vision, got me in coaching groups, got me really going. And that lasted for about 4 years. And then visions kind of started changing a little bit.
Between you two.
Did he have other
Nope,
chiropractors?
it was just him and I. It was kind of like our relationship where I was building into becoming a partner, but the visions kind of started diverging, and he wanted to go a different route than I was going. And again, I got blessed, and he said, you know what? I think right now is the best time for us just to split, and I'm going to go do this. And I think you'll be more successful if you're not part of my vision and you go do your own vision.
Oh, wow. How did that feel?
It was scary.
Was it mutual?
Yeah, it was mutual. Like,
That's good.
And
Not like, oh my God.
No, we were both
Yeah.
kind of realized it was just starting to be a divergence. And instead of ending ugly, we decided, hey, it's time to end happy. I wish you the best.
That's good.
And he's successful. He's doing great.
Yeah.
And then I went off and again, it was just a blessing. He was like, hey, we're going to blow out the non-compete. We're going to let you stay here in Idaho Falls. I want to be working with you, not against you. So I'd rather have somebody here. And so just such a great thing, because that 4 years, and this is where, again, talking in business aspect, I learned how to do billing. I learned how to do pretty much every aspect of business, how to manage employees, what really mattered in growing a business. And so, and I think the biggest thing is having a vision. And so when we split, it was the end of 2019.
Okay.
So we're building up here.
Okay.
That was a long time to work with him though, 4 years.
Yeah, it was great. We had a great
That's kind of cool to get his
relationship.
blessing, like as you go on to know, because that would have sucked if your mentor of 4 years just now like hates you or is angry at you or bitter in some way.
No,
like
we still play basketball together.
So
it's
that's
great.
cool.
Like it's good in the world to just have people that you can respect and rely on. You know?
For sure.
And so anyway. So we split up, and that was the end of 2019. And I thought, he gave me 3 months, and I was like, okay, I've got till March of 2020 to kind of figure this out. And
he gave you 3 months.
Yeah.
Like for the transition out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and like, yeah, it was, like I said, it was just so great. And he, again, in this aspect, I was like, well, I'm going to go do my own thing, but I'm like, hey, I got 3 months. It was December. I had a season pass to Targhee, so naturally I went straight to Targhee and started kind of thinking like, what if I started a chiropractic practice? If I started, what would I want it to be called?
You were looking for fallen skiers who had been hurt.
Yes, yes. I was pushing people down. Hey, see that rock?
Sitting at the bottom with cards.
So it was. I got you. In Idaho Falls, people understand that you get in the mountains, you get inspiration, right? And so that's where I was listening to books. I was going up to the mountains to try to figure out what I was going to do. And I thought, okay, I got 3 months to figure this out. And again, it just all kind of like went like this. And I was up there and I was like, I really love being up high and seeing. And so what is that going to look like as a business? Right. And so my idea was, I want to ascend. I want people to come up and to be high so that was the name we came up with, Ascend Chiropractic. And there was a lot of benefits to that because I didn't realize at the time, like, it starts with an A, so we'll be at the top of the list of everything.
Yeah, right.
Little things to think about.
It was little things, but through the journey of everything, it was a lot of reading books, a lot of learning what my vision was going to be, because that's what I didn't have with Vancicle Chiropractic. I had no vision. I had to put my shingle up and tell people I'm a chiropractor, and they're going to come in.
Yeah.
And then switching to Ascend, in the vision of that was, okay, what is this going to mean to people when they come to my office? What are they going to feel? What are they going to experience? What do they want when they come here? Because if you need a chiropractor, go find one. Like throw a rock, you'll hit one.
Yeah. And
if you miss them, you'll hit a dentist. So, I mean, there's plenty around, right? And so what is it going to be that's different? And so as I started the journey of how am I going to develop this company? My vision became pretty clear that I just wanted to elevate people's lives. And that's what my true vision is. When you come to my office, I want you to feel like you've been elevated. Doesn't matter if you feel like, oh, my back's so much better. It's like, hey, I feel good as a person. I feel good as a mom. I feel good as a kid. Like, I feel lifted. And the way we do that, and the way my mission is by creating magical moments with you. Okay. And that's through a connection, right? And so I feel like as a doctor's office, you're not always connecting with the person that you're there with.
Totally.
And so I want to be able to connect with people and feel like, hey, you belong here. Or if we don't vibe, let's find you where you do go.
I see.
Because a lot of health is just that connection that you have. Right.
Sure.
At the end of the day, it's all about like people and like relationships and
like how you feel cared for.
Yeah. Like you want we want that person to feel like the best they can. I mean, physically and like mentally as well. So.
Yeah. And everybody's had the experience where you've gone to, doesn't matter, some type of care facility or whatever, and you're like, I don't even think they listened to a word I said.
Yeah.
No, I feel you.
So
100%.
How do you improve on something like that? Like,
what's the action?
Do you record yourself and rewatch it and see
It's
how you entered the room?
It's a lot of training. It's a lot of
it's
a lot of role play.
Yeah, we've done role play and
I mean, because you can't just show up and be like, hey, I'm Dr. Jason. You gonna listen to what I say, like, because again, you've gone to places where you're like, I didn't feel listened to, and then you've gone to places where you're like, I just like that guy. What did he tell you? I don't know, but I just really felt like they understood what I was, and so it's that, and so that's what we really I tried to create was,
like you walk in, you like feel the vibe of the office of like, this is somewhere I want to be.
It's a welcoming
place. This is somewhere I want to be.
And
I want to be a part of.
That was the biggest compliment.
Nothing's worse than walking into a place that you expect to be a little awkward, and it is.
Yeah.
Like,
super stale.
Terrible.
You're like, oh, this is exactly what
like
I
where
thought
there's
it was gonna be.
cameras
I hate
everywhere
this.
and a microphone. It's like,
what an awkward situation. Who would do that?
no, this is great. And so that was the real, like, and the biggest compliment I ever get is when people are like, yeah, it just feels good in here. They just like the vibe.
I agree.
And
it's a great
like,
compliment.
Yeah. You're like, great. This is what we want. Having worked with the other doctor, I was still want to do a lot of pediatrics and pregnancy. So I just wanted a place where kids could come and be happy, and moms could bring their kids and feel like, hey, this is okay.
Yeah.
I don't have to feel like, oh no, my kid's touching your wall or stuff. I'm like, dude, let them climb on the wall. I don't care.
There's lots of moms and kids here.
So. Yeah. So we literally, my wife and I were like, okay, this is December. We found a place and I was like, it's too big. I don't know. It's not going to work. I don't have the budget for that. And we went and the guy was like, just make an offer. So we went like low on our rent space and they were like, yeah, take it.
Nice.
And just take it as it is and we'll accept that. And so
Great.
by January 1st, we had a building. The other doctor I had worked for had sold me a lot of his old equipment that he wasn't using anymore. And we were like, we had a name, we had a logo. I was like, okay, I guess we're
Look
not
at
going
you.
till March.
Yeah.
So this is where blessings come, right? And sometimes you just got to go with your gut. And it was January 13th, we opened Ascend Chiropractic. And my first week, I saw more in my first week at this new building. And now I had people that knew me and stuff like that. So it was a little different than Advancicle, but it was literally, we like tripled the amount of people we saw in like a whole week in like the first 3 days.
Wow.
So it was great. We had great reception. And then March
With just opening? With your grand opening?
Just opening. And
continued patients that like
yeah, there's some
followed you?
continued patients, and then just that and relationships I had with doctors and stuff. And is sending me people, but it was so great to just kind of feel like, hey, my vision's gonna work. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And then March
Especially
of 2020,
after getting a bigger space.
Yeah.
The risk.
Yeah. And then March of 2020 hit. And that was a great time to hit to start a business, right? It wasn't nerve wracking at all.
Good thing you got that discount.
Yeah. And so it was just one of those. But luckily, like I've said, we live in a pretty easy state, and so we were able to just continue. And we had a few restrictions here and there, but as we grew over the next couple of years. Dr. Jaxson here I had met him when I was working at the other doctor's office. He had come in shadow, and I was like, hey, I don't think it would work. Like we didn't have any space for him there, but I was like, if I ever worked, I'd like to work with Dr. Jaxson. We have a good vibe together. Yeah. And so we kind of kept in contact as he was going through school. And 2 years after we opened, I was a little jumping the gun on bringing in another doctor, but sometimes you have to take a risk when you own a business.
What made you feel like you needed to?
Because I feel like
Just
if you,
cool, I guess.
I needed the face, right? I feel like, and most people in business will know this, you can spend a long time trying to find the right person, or you can spend very little time hiring the wrong person and then spend a long time fixing what that person did.
Seriously.
Right. And so Dr. Jaxson and I had such a good vibe together that I was just like, we will work together, working together. And
a business connection that clicks is so crucial.
Yeah.
That's so different.
So different than a friendship.
Well, I like the vision that like, I don't know, like as we kept in contact and stuff, and I found out he was starting his own. Cause when I first shadowed he was at the other place for the two doctors, and we just gelled really well, like when we first met. And when I heard he kind of did his own thing and talked about the vision and everything, I'm like, that's kind of exactly what I want to do. And I really like aligned with that. And so, once we come in contact and stuff, I was like, this is definitely something like I want to be a part of. That could be really successful. So. And
you had still been working at the other place in that meantime until you
were
opened?
in school.
He was in school.
No, I was in school.
You
Yeah,
weren't
I was
doing
in
any
school.
of this shit.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm just kind of following what they was doing. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and that's, I think sometimes you have to take the risk, because I was a little early, like financially, business wise.
What year was this?
This was only 2 years in, because this was
2022.
2022. Yeah. And so this is where I was like, okay, well, we're going to have to, we've made some risk and we've been successful. So we're going to take another risk. And so we brought Dr. Jaxson on, and we've had ups and downs, but it's been good so far. And we continue to try to grow, and we match visions and try to be going forward. So that's kind of the story. Sorry, I know it was a little long, but
I love it.
How we got to be where we are. But I think the important thing,
it's crazy how long stories start back when you really like tell it
Years.
like that. Like even thinking
all
our
the
own
details
story
that
and all
come
these
back
people
to
we
your
talk
head,
to.
like,
but
people have to go through a lot of time to really get to where you feel that success. Like,
and I think, and we can talk a lot more about other things, but as far as the business goes, I think the stories are the most important part, right? And I think for people like the entrepreneurs and stuff that think like, oh, this just happens overnight. Like you look at major stories, right? Like McDonald's, that guy was in his 50s. The guy that started Texas Roadhouse, he was like in his late 40s. He had failed like 4 other businesses. So
it's like so rare to find someone who just makes it. Like it happens for sure.
Does.
But
wasn't it Oprah like in her 40s, like she became famous?
Yeah. But it's just one of those things where it's like, it's so important to, there were so many things I learned along the way. Like my first practice, it was like, you literally had no idea what you were doing. Like you just thought you show up and people come to see you and because you're a doctor, you're successful. And that's not the case at all. Like I did a lot of work and stuff, but I really was just kind of like a boat without a rudder, just wherever the sea took me.
Yeah.
And then when I went and worked for this other doctor, he really helped me hone in like, hey, vision is important. How you treat people is important. Having coaching is important. Having like,
did he have like a sit down and talk with you about that? Was that like a regular kind of coaching thing? Or
constantly. We were always working on business and working on each other and like working on like, hey, how does this like, it wasn't so much of our technique that we did a lot of technique stuff, but it was a lot of like, hey, what does it look like when this happens? Or what did you learn from this book? I mean, because we read a ton of books and with coaching and stuff like that, there was always just little things that you're makeshifting, and it really helped understand like, it's not just show up and you can't just do it every day, like, or you'll burn yourself out. So you have to have stuff.
Yeah. I like that you seem to be constantly learning in the coaching. I think that's so important because there's always like little nuggets of information you can take from things, and it's over time they all like work together, and it's cool when you can make more sense of things. And it's nice to be more confident too. Like it would have been cool to have had success the first time right away and made money, but then now you know that if you do hit a storm or a slow time, like you have the skills to like get through it. And I know for us that was a really hard part at the beginning when you start a business and you don't know if you have the skills to get through the storm. You know,
the direction.
And once you do, after a few, you're like, all right, I can do this. I can.
And you have those like those first bills that show up, and you're like, okay, how are we gonna
like now I have shit to do.
Yeah, how are we gonna pay this?
Yeah,
like
the fire has been lit. I gotta go.
Yeah, and they're like, wait, I have to pay that again in 30 days. And then another. Oh my god.
Literally though.
But it's interesting because I had a coach tell me once too, like every time you do something, it's almost like starting over. Right. And so like starting my practice, I started it and it was like, okay, that's starting over. And then I brought in Dr. Jaxson. He's like, now you started your practice again. Like 2 years in, you started
it's
anew because now everything that you've done is completely different. And so now I have to learn anew. And now I'm not starting again, but I've been reading some new stuff that I'm like, hey, we need to change our vision, even be bigger. Because I think something about being an entrepreneur, sometimes you're just very stagnant. Like you get very comfortable.
For sure. Yeah, it's easy to get stuck in that.
Yeah, because it's nice. You're paying your bills, you're doing your stuff, and you're like, this is great. But then you look back and you're like,
kind of get stale there for a little bit.
I mean, we see a lot of people. We do a lot of outreach for sales to sell our services, and a lot of people, more than you think, say, I'm fine, I'm doing good. And it's like, but you could be doing better.
Yeah.
And just that mindset of like, I'm good is scary for them because it's like, that's not going to last. You gotta
keep growing. And
Like, good for you. I'm happy you feel that way, but think about it.
Yeah. And it's just crazy. So anyway, that's kind of how we came to be. That's what our mission and vision is. And it's
cool.
And that's where we got to where we are today. And we're continuing. I learn stuff every day that I'm like, wow, I didn't realize how dumb I am. So
how did that transition go? Like when you were learning, reading books, all this knowledge with your old coworker who you split ways with, to like having to lead that on your own.
Yeah, now you're
you were the one in charge of motivating people.
That's the hard thing.
I'm basically doing, I mean, everything that he's kind of learned with the other doctor, and then I coming in, I'm like everything that he's learned, I'm now learning and kind of doing that whole process. So
that's keeping you motivated as like the mentor.
Yeah. It's hard though. It's, and I think that's what was hard at sometimes, because when you have somebody that's a mentor, you can get a little animosity towards them because you're like, gosh, just leave me alone. I'm figuring it out.
Sure.
And now that I'm doing it, I'm like, well, I understand a lot of what he was telling me now. Like I get like, it is stressful because like there's things that when he doesn't do it, I'm like, why doesn't he just do it?
Yeah.
Or when he does do it, I'm like, why did he do that? Like,
it's a whole other job. Like you were saying, like you went to school to be a chiropractor, not to be a manager or like the marketer or now like the hiring manager.
Right.
Like it's just so many different jobs that you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And I remember that being in like the manager position and like, managing and leading and having to let people make mistakes. And it's so hard. And then you overstep and you're like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. Right. And then you're like, you learn on this people management. It's just so hard because it's like, that wasn't the job.
Right.
And there's just so many other factors that you have to now.
Yeah, and that's where your personality comes into play. You really have to learn about yourself.
People do things differently, right? Like they think a little differently
Like, do you guys do the personality tests ever?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think those were so helpful.
So I do a lot
It
of,
actually
we do a lot
was.
of
We do
what's
that
called
every time we
DISC
hire.
profiles.
Oh, good.
So there's Myers-Briggs, and DISC is a big one and stuff like that. So we
do
do
the
a lot of that.
Myers-Briggs one.
Is that what ours was?
Yeah. Yeah. It's usually.
We've done a few different ones.
couple different
but
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting because I'm much more of a passive type person.
Okay.
And so that's where I struggle sometimes as a manager and all that stuff. And so that's why, like with that question, I've just been reading a book called 10X is easier than 2X. I don't know if you've guys heard that.
10X?
10X is easier than
easier than
2X by
2X.
Dan Sullivan.
Okay.
And there's another guy in there. So sorry if I didn't copyright or anything like that. But it's really awesome because it's talking a lot about how it's so much easier to do 10 times what you're currently doing because you have to reinvent everything you're doing than 2X, because 2X is what we're comfortable with, right? Anybody can take, like, if you had your business right now and you're like, hey, what would it take to make it twice what it is right now?
Okay.
You can visualize that. Like, oh, we see this many more people, we have many more
Sure.
clients, we're
Okay.
doubled what we just did.
Okay.
10X, you're like, well, maybe our garage isn't big enough for 10X.
Yeah.
So, or maybe what us two doing it is not big enough. Us two is not
Yeah,
big enough
totally.
to do a 10X type
Yeah.
shift. And then they say, well, then you really start honing in like, okay, well, what stuff are you doing every day? Like managerial hiring that you should just hire somebody else to do because you don't like doing it anyway. And so
It's kind of like where you put your energy, like.
100%.
Like where are you going to put your energy into like all these little details? You're going to put your energy into like one big detail that's going to like help grow your practice even like exponentially more instead of putting little bits of energy into these these little things aren't going to grow it as much. Or like, okay, I'm going to put all my energy into this because it's going to grow it to this.
yeah. And so if Dr. Jaxson and I are constantly worried about like billing and all this other stuff,
yeah.
I'm
you're
not
doing
I'm
your
not able
job.
to connect with people as well.
Yeah.
And that's really where we shine, right? Like
Yeah.
connecting and making sure that you're feeling taken care of, making sure that we are meeting your needs because you're coming with us for a problem, not for my benefit, right? Like,
True.
and so if I'm so worried about my billing or my employee and I don't have, but it's hard because you talked about this earlier. You have to have money to make money. And sometimes
The
it's
sacrifice
that's
is
a scary
there.
leap,
Yeah.
right?
For
Like
sure.
I'm going to hire somebody that I'm not sure I can afford, but then you all of a sudden, oh, why didn't I do that? 10
And then you can pay for it and you've like doubled your
why
profits
didn't
all of a
I
sudden.
do that 10 months ago?
Yeah.
So,
We're kind of going through that exact
Yeah.
same thing right now because the past 2 years have been just us, and we've recently brought on a team of interns. So we have 7 people now
Yeah.
that help us, and the last 2 shoots we've done have been a night and day game changer. Like where we're
Seriously.
like enjoying our
I
lives
feel
again,
so
and not.
rewarded and happy.
It's crazy how instantly
crazy.
gratifying it is. It's like that's what it's meant to be like, and it's very motivating.
yeah,
and it's cool.
80% of the crap we do, we don't want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like you said, putting your efforts in the things that you know you need to do.
Yeah.
And I think for us, it was just the scared or timidness of, can we afford that? And we were growing other parts of our business at the time. And
But you also have to have a plan, right? Because you can't just be like, I'll just hire 7 interns.
And then now what do?
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, now what?
Like, hey, thanks for coming, guys.
Yeah.
My life's supposed to be easier. I heard it on a podcast.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I feel like it gives you more motivation too of like,
100%.
because you have like the 7th, you're like, we're enjoying life again. It's giving us more like time to like get motivated.
Yeah.
Sure.
And keep that motivation and
More
stuff like that.
projects, more things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what can we do for them to keep
Right.
them excited and want to stay?
Yeah. So sometimes like time out also gets you like reflect to like, okay, and this is what I can do now to put it back in.
It's like
Yeah.
some other guy we podcasted with said it, but
Yeah.
like you have to walk to be able to run.
Right.
And that's, I feel it right now.
Or it
It's-
was like-
it's weird
Sometimes,
stepping
though,
back.
Well, he
because
said
Di-
it was you needed to slow down
Because Disney
to get your
Walt
process.
Disney just said,
Yeah.
jump off a cliff and grow wings on the way down. So
Disney
there's
said
different.
that?
There's Disney did.
I think it
Okay.
depends maybe on the person, right? yeah. How
What's
much they
your
can handle.
capability?
But there is a thing of like analysis paralysis, right?
For sure.
Like,
oh my God. Yeah.
And so I think
Yeah.
that's where like the idea of like jump off a cliff and grow wings on the way down is sometimes you have a plan.
Yeah.
And until you finally just jump, it's never going to go because you'll sit there and look at the numbers. And
It'll
be like-
never happen.
And like, oh, well, if we brought in one more
Woulda,
person,
shoulda, coulda,
or
like-
if we did this, or maybe if we like expanded to this but it's hard as business owners. It's so hard.
Right.
Like, because there is always that fear. Like, what if, like, what if I let go of my 80% of these people that are making me all this money and only focus on this 20%? Well, is it going to grow? Like I hope, but
Yeah.
most of the time we see that it does. Like if you really are focused in making that work. So
Because it can almost be bad if you overthink it, right? Like if you overthink it, you're going to talk yourself out of it instead of, or what's that one saying? It's like ready, fire, aim or something like that.
yeah. Or I was gonna say getting ready to get ready.
Yeah.
Right, because like you learn more from your mistakes than you do from a successful
truly
thing.
learn.
So it's like you have to make more mistakes faster to be able to
Right.
grow faster.
Well, and again, I'm not recommending this for anybody, but sometimes sometimes the most successful people in the world went through bankruptcy first, right? Like
they've learned the hard lessons.
Again, I don't want to recommend.
No recommendations here.
Don't do that.
But I'm saying, like, sometimes you make those decisions, and that was the advice my dad gave when I started my practice, and I was freaking out because I was like, I have to pay $2,500 a month in rent, and I'm like, I don't even know if we're gonna make $2,250 because my previous experience had told me it might not happen. And he's like, well, what's the worst that could happen? You file bankruptcy and you go start again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what terrible advice.
I don't want to do that.
But it's one of those things.
Like,
I think
but
he was just trying to help me get rid of the fear of like, sometimes bad stuff's going to happen, but you can still be successful even in spite of that.
Yeah.
You can't let the fear stop you from doing it.
Right. Because the alternative, what if you go and do this and it just blows up?
Yeah.
And you didn't let it happen because you were
Life-changing.
worried about that one thing that could have caused everything. So anyway.
Yeah,
No,
it's so important.
completely agree. Yeah.
So you've been here in Idaho Falls now. What year are we? 2025.
Yeah, so we've been in practice. It's insane because I worked with that other doctor for 4 years, and it was a lot of learning, and it was a lot of humility, and it was a lot of like just figuring stuff out. And I thought, wow. And then I started this, and I've been on my own now longer than I was with him. And I'm like, that was like
a blink of an eye.
It's
It's crazy how that happens.
It's crazy.
I hate it.
And again,
5 years. Or so.
Yeah.
So I've been here almost 10 years now.
Wow, in Idaho Falls.
Yeah.
Because you weren't from
I'm
Idaho
from Twin Falls area.
Okay.
So I'm an Idaho boy.
Okay.
So I can still say Boise correctly.
Sure.
Not Boise.
Boise.
Yeah.
People always yelled at me too.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, you live there. You should know better. No. And so, I've always lived in Idaho, and except for when I was in school and stuff. So,
Yeah.
it's great.
And then you've lived in Idaho?
Yeah,
forever?
I'm born and raised. Yeah, I went to Hillcrest.
Oh, you're Hillcrest.
Yeah.
So you're from Idaho Falls.
Yeah, born and raised here, and
Okay.
picked up at Hillcrest, and we talked about ISU, went to ISU, and did that whole thing. And
We don't need to.
We don't need to open that can of worms again.
anyways,
He's been waiting. Like,
It's
go back to
ISU
that.
again,
About that.
actually.
yeah. So
let's talk about
So
success.
you got your degree there, or did you go somewhere else?
no,
after?
so I got all my prereqs and stuff at ISU, and
Yeah.
then I went to Western States up in Portland.
Okay.
For chiropractic school, and then I just kept in contact with him, and then came back, and sports is really my main realm. I love football. I actually coach at Hillcrest right now, football,
That's cool.
and so sports is really.
Do you get leads from that?
And here we're back to
Low-key?
Football.
We're back to football.
I mean, kind of, but I'm
even like family members, like
but I'm more there for like the kids. You know what I mean?
you're
I'm
like,
just
and
Not
break,
to get
and
some
here's my
business.
card.
yeah. I mean, if there's any injuries and stuff like that, I walk out there and
That's
and talk
hilarious.
to the kids and stuff like that.
Tuck your card in their sock.
Yeah. Like, oh, don't forget that. Yeah,
It's good to see you. We're just ambulance chasers.
Yeah.
We have
but
no vision. We just want you to come to our office.
That's right.
What got you interested in doing this? Like, did you always know you wanted to be?
No, so actually,
it?
So when I first went to ISU, I was thinking like more mechanical engineer. Like it's kind of what my dad does. I mean, he's not an engineer, but
Interesting.
it's kind of what he does. And so I did all generals, and I started going into like mechanical engineering classes, and I was sitting at a computer, and I'm like
Yikes.
designing stuff. And
Interesting.
I go to the professor or whatever. I'm like, is this what I'm gonna be doing? He's like, yeah, this is your day, like all day. I'm like, this sucks. like I don't like this. Like I don't
It's all
wanna-
computer stuff.
Yeah, just
Okay.
or he's like, you're mainly going to be designing, and then you're going to hand it off to like technicians who are going to make.
They can do the fun stuff.
They're going to make it.
Yeah.
And you're going to have like input and stuff like that. But I'm like, well, I've always grown up kind of being like hands-on.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I want to be up and moving and hands-on. I'm very much like, I'm not a stay still person. Like he knows this. Like I sit at the desk for 2 minutes and I'm like, all right, I got to get up. So,
Do a lap.
Yeah.
I gotta get a Tootsie Roll.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. I have a sweet tooth.
It's
So-
weird when the reality of the job hits.
The
and
day
you're
to
like,
day.
and it hit me there. Like, is this actually what I'm be doing? They're like, yeah. I'm like, I got to get out of this. So
fuck this.
yeah. So I switched the whole thing. Yeah. I switched the whole thing and actually went and talked to a couple counselors and stuff. And they're like, I think you're looking more for like medical field, maybe like PT and chiropractic. And so I went and shadowed, and landed here. I mean, I shadowed a couple other chiropractors, but I landed here or when they were doing the couple docs thing where he was at previously. And I was like, I really like this. Like, I really like hands-on. I mean, making people feel better right away, but
Yeah.
it doesn't happen like
So
that.
was
It's
it
like
your
an
school that
instant
did that
gratification.
aligned it for you to go be his intern? The school did that,
No,
or you
I
did
just
that?
started reaching
Okay,
out. Yeah.
Okay.
Because he,
I was gonna say, was that fate that he like got
No, 'cause I
you
just
an
started- I
intern
just
from
Kind
the
of.
I just started
'cause-
reaching out of just like PTs in Idaho Falls, chiropractors in
Yeah.
Idaho Falls, and just went around and just been like, okay, what do I want to do? Cause at that point, like after engineering, I was like, I don't really know what I want to do. Cause that's kind of what my whole life I was like, well, I want to be what my dad does. And so I just kind of did that. And then I had to switch my whole
Now what?
realm of like,
Your whole
what I'm
life.
You
doing.
have to figure out yourself
Yeah.
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I like working with my hands. Oh, my family always gives me crap because I like working with my hands, but I don't like getting my hands dirty, like grease and stuff like that. I'm like, give me a napkin. I gotta get this grease off.
Give me a napkin.
So I'm like, I like being like up and moving, work with my hands and like talking to people. I love talking to people.
Well, this is perfect then.
Yeah. So I'm like,
Gotta moisturize.
I always have the thing of lotion next to my desk because I'm like always.
Gotta have soft hands.
That's right. That's right.
That's great.
So yeah, I just love up and talking to people
Yeah.
and working and just up and moving. I just like to be up and moving.
So what are your like marketing tactics in town? Because you said that you had to do other things
This
to
is
get
it.
Oh, okay. This is it.
The one and only.
This is a podcast where there we go. So honestly, again, every field is a little different, and you can't really, if you're in sales, you can't just be like, oh, wait for people to come up. But again, I had to learn that a lot of it was because I did it all. Like I went
social media.
My wife does my
person,
social media, and we're not I'm old. Like I'm just kind of like Facebook here, come see me. We paid people to post dumb stuff that nobody cares about because that's the thing. It's a connection, right? Like, and so when I worked for that guy, when I talked about who broke his pelvis, he told me the only thing I ever worry about only thing I ever care about is if I see you in the grocery store, you're going to say hi to me. Because I've treated you like a family member, right? Because we've all had, oh my gosh, there's that person.
Honestly.
Like, I owe them $150.
I haven't been there in a while.
Yeah. And so it was just really that connect with people and have a vision that they can latch onto and feel. And so then they refer and they send their friends. And now we are starting to do a little bit more like, hey, we probably need to reach out more because I have a specialty. I have a master's in pediatrics. I'm one of the only ones in the United States.
Pediatrics, kids.
Yeah.
Literally. Okay.
Yeah, I'm one of the only ones in the United States that actually has a brand new program. I was the very first class to ever graduate in the United States with
Interesting.
it. There's some stuff in England and stuff. But anyway, it was just one of those, I've never marketed it because I love kids and I love and people don't realize that kids need chiropractic as well.
Interesting.
But that's why we're kind of starting to do some of these like, hey, let's get the word out there and maybe do some marketing because we've done really well without it. But now what if we could 10X it, right?
Sure.
By putting a little bit of investment into it.
Where did you say they're doing this already? England?
So there is some pediatric courses so there's always been like
before you were doing it.
Right. There's always been some like what we call like a diplomate and stuff, but like this is the first accredited like master's program.
Yeah.
And so, and there is some like across the seas and stuff, but in
I'd be curious
US,
how they marketed it there or like how they verbiage was on signs or whatever. Just
I
how
don't
to
know.
market to a kid.
Oh, and there, I mean, it's the same.
The parent of the kid.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, even here marketing, it's a lot of just like, hey, I heard, or mommy groups on Facebook and stuff like that. They're like, oh, I took my kid here for colic.
Which makes sense because it's someone you trust if you're getting that info from that, like a group.
And,
like
and in
that.
the medical world, that's huge, right? Like, and
a direct referral
in the
from
health
someone.
world, right?
Yeah.
Like, you want a massage from somebody that somebody likes. You want you want to go to somebody that like, hey, they had good results.
Yeah.
It's always a catch-22 though, because sometimes they're like, oh yeah, I had back pain and they cured me, and then you come in with something different, right? Yeah. But it's still back pain, and you're like, it's not getting any better, and you're like, well,
He didn't heal me on the first visit.
Yeah.
Like, they're like my friend.
Yeah, and so. It's sometimes it's a catch-22.
Customer service is always there.
But yeah, so anyway, so marketing wise, that's what we're trying to go down some routes of maybe some advertising here and there. It's just so hard. And you guys know this in the marketing world, like what do you throw your dollars at versus what do you burn them? It's like, hey, I did $700 in Facebook ads and got one person that just got me $12, so just burn that money.
And we've had a ton of people who, we pitch our services to, and like what they're doing currently without video or digital ads works for their market. And that makes sense. And that's totally fine. I think if you can get away with it, that is awesome.
Yeah. But
I just think there's so many people who need it.
But again, it's that same concept. Since I keep coming back, we're talking business, right? It's that same concept. You can get away with it to stay 2X.
Yeah.
Like to stay where you're at because it's comfortable.
I agree. Tell this to everybody.
Well,
else.
tell them. Yeah.
Tell them.
I'm gonna have to watch my own video because I
Going.
hope this is going well,
going.
right? I hope this is what you guys were looking for.
No, this is exactly what I was looking for.
And so anyway, no, I'm the same. Like I've been so comfortable. It's like, why would I pay to do that when it's working the way it is? But if you could do twice your revenue or 10 times your revenue and work half as half because you have people you trust doing your things.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Right. Again,
It's like we were just saying about, it's not your job. You can have someone else do that job. Take it off your hands.
Oh, and I mean, I'm learning this more and more. Like, I really don't like marketing. Like, it's not my thing. I love working with people
to realize that.
Right. Yeah.
Then it makes it easier to like approach because
it
you're
took
like,
this podcast for me.
It's also that we talk about like just the time that you have like outside the office too is also important to like, it helps like bring more motivation to like back into your practice or back into whatever you're doing. And so like, I mean, working's good, but also like the time away is also good. And
The
so
whole
kind of found that
purpose.
balance. Yeah. Right.
You got to fill your cup. You have to have your time off.
Yeah.
Like we always,
Exactly.
I see the post where it's like, if you're able to have like lunch with your family during the day, like you're the true winner. Like you're like the millionaire.
But I don't think people realize that either. Like, cause I grew up farm community, right? Like I started working when I was 12,
Okay.
you know, or when I was little, I was picking up cigarette butts in my dad's shop, you know, like, hey, you know, and then I learned you could just dump an ashtray and like, look, I got all these cigarette butts. Anyway, but I've always had a job. And so you just think like work is all you got to do. But really you lose a lot of creativity when you're just always in the grindstone. Right. And if you take that time where you're with your family or you're actually like being creative, all of a sudden windows open, right?
100%.
You can do different things. So
we've had moments where like Dan grew up, like his dad was like a workaholic, super workaholic.
Crazy guy.
You never took vacations, none of that. And we've gone on a good handful of vacations and it's been
you
like,
lived in Hawaii.
wow.
That is a vacation.
I wish it was a vacation.
Everyone said, but yeah. I mean, obviously you can go to the beach and stuff, but it's an expensive place to live. You got to hustle. So I don't blame my parents for working and feeling that way because I would feel that way too. If I
doesn't?
had my kid, that's why we left Hawaii to come here. But
then like finding the happy medium of being like, okay, now like spending this time chilling and relaxing with my children and like spending quality time. That's so different and like something to look back on in the future, like those family moments of just memories.
And growth is a process.
What's life?
Growth is a process of shedding, not adding. Right. If you're going to grow, you're getting rid of stuff, not adding stuff. And so, and that's like in business, right? Like you guys talked about with your interns, you shed half of your responsibilities and all of a sudden you grow.
Oh yeah.
And so, but as business owners, and we all get stuck in this, is like we hold on so tight.
To control it.
We hold on so tight because it's like, I'm so much better at this than the person I'm going to hire.
Yeah, you do.
Right? And
I only know, no one else knows.
They're only going to screw it up. And you know, it's such a unique way of thinking. Nobody else ever thinks like that.
It's scary.
Right.
Yeah.
But once you start letting go and you're like, holy crap, why didn't I do that? Like
oh, they are doing a good job. That's great. Yeah.
yeah.
So anyway,
it's rewarding. It's rewarding.
it is. But you really want to be able to focus. Like for you guys, I imagine like doing a lot of this video stuff or that is really your passion, right? Like this, I want to be creative. I want that space. I don't really care about the billing and all that. So for me and Dr.
100%.
Jaxson, he
I
likes
like when I get an invoice.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like when a check comes with
Yeah.
But honestly, if it was about a paycheck, we wouldn't do what we do, right?
No, for sure. You couldn't.
It's really like,
and people say that, but until you do it and like really are in it, I get it now.
What was
I
that
would've given
phrase?
up.
That Japanese phrase? What is it? I always say it wrong. It's like ikigai. That's not it. What is it?
I think that was right.
Is it ikigai?
I have no idea.
That sounds right.
It's completely wrong. Who knows? But it's when you find the perfect balance of like your work life, making money, and what makes you happy.
Right.
And it's like that perfect thing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the happiness that you need to get.
Yeah. I mean,
well, especially for us too, like in our field, nobody wants to come to like a doctor's office where they're like, oh, like you come in, you're like, I don't want to be here. I'm super like stalemate all the time. Like everyone's like
you hate your job,
energetic,
you're
right?
just
Like
stuck in the
everyone's like
office.
energetic. So it's like, it's coming into like, you have to love what you do because people feed off of that. People feed off connections and people feed off like your energy. And so like if your energy is like low, then they're like, I don't want to go back there.
Oh, 100%.
and if you're bogged down with all the day to day.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys have ever read
People
E-Myth.
see that.
Yeah, absolutely. They
E-Myth.
can read right through.
Yeah.
It sounds familiar.
I think we read that one in college.
It sounds
it's a very
familiar.
popular. But it's the entrepreneur myth, right?
Okay.
But he talks a lot about doing it. Like every single day, just doing, like being the technician in an entrepreneurial world. And sometimes you get bogged down with all the different hats you wear. And so that's where it's really important to start thinking like, okay, how do I free myself from some of those so I can be creative again? Cause that's what we all do this thing where like we start a business and we're like, oh, it's going good. And then all of a sudden we hit this thing and we're like, wow, we're doing so great. And then we kind of plateau again. And we're like, well, if I take that next step, I'm going to have to spend this money. I'm going to have to go to Film Garage and pay them to do stuff with me, right?
Everybody.
But it's things like that. And you're like, I just don't know if I'm ready. But if you looked back and you said like, what did I do here? You're like, I didn't have a choice. Now you're so comfortable. It's like, I have to make the choice and I have to do that.
Which is funny because you're like 10 steps ahead of what you were before.
Oh, totally.
Infinite.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen, it was the other day, it was like, as long as you're crossing off 5 things from your checklist for like the goal, like not the big goal, just like the daily goal, you got to cross off every day and then you'll make it there. Because if you're always looking at like the main big goal, it's not going to happen. It's like the daily little steps that get you there in reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Unless you just get lucky.
Yeah.
And some people.
Some people.
I think
Inventions
in
that
all
just pop
business, there's a
off
little bit of luck, right?
Yeah.
For sure. Right place, right time.
But it's a lot of times it's like that. It's where preparation meets luck, right? What does
Totally.
Peyton Manning
You have
says
to be
something
ready
about
for
that
it.
where do you know that?
I like
phrase?
that.
Where Peyton Manning talks about anyway. Peyton, give me a call and tell me what you said.
He's gonna listen.
I'm sure he's gonna watch this. Hashtag.
Is that football? He might listen.
Hey, we
wants to hear
talk
about-
more about X's.
He wants to hear about ISU, I'm sure.
Totally.
No, but it's where like luck is where preparation meets skill or something like that, and it's really true. Like
I agree.
A lot of this luck didn't happen over. Like I said,
You've been preparing for this moment.
people that like with me, I failed a business. I worked with another doctor who helped me understand like where things are, so that when I hit the ground running, we didn't just jump up in our numbers and everything overnight. It was like because I was lucky. It was like I had created relationships. I had spent the time. I had done the work.
Yeah, you did the work.
And then
Switch the whole mindset, basically.
and then when when the rubber hit the road, it was still scary. I didn't have a choice, but I
had to do it.
I was ready.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's where when you talked about like what do we do to market, and I think that's the biggest thing is we connect. And so when I start feeling like our numbers are dipping or we're not doing as well as I'd hope, I start calling people saying like, let's go to lunch.
Yeah.
And they always think it's weird. And I'm like, I guarantee you just by me putting energy into my business.
It gets kind of freaky sometimes.
It's
I
scary.
agree. I 100%
I have like a
agree.
stale day and you go to lunch and then when you come back from lunch and you had like, we have like 15 call-ins and you're like, that's just,
We had 3 new patients call in.
it's
You're
just
like,
kind of weird that way. It's just like,
and it was,
It's like the world sees you putting out the effort.
yeah, it's just the energy you putting out there that like comes right back.
It's voodoo.
Absolutely.
I'm not, it's so weird. Like there's
I
even
agree.
been times where I've said like,
Chiropractors,
I've
voodoo?
literally
No way.
sat in my office. We were not doing anything. Like this was when I was early on. I was like, we just need one person to call in and be a new patient. Like literally 2 seconds
Ring.
later, the phone rings and it's like, hey, we'd like to come in. And I'm like,
love it.
Well, you just walk away. You're like, this is so weird. Or the same type of thing. Cause you have connections with people. You're like, you know what? I haven't seen Jaxson in a while. Like within 2
And then
days,
you see them.
it'll be like, hey, I haven't been in a while. You know, like it's just that there is some of that where you just put good vibes. I think business is an innate thing. It has its own like living. It's its own living
I
organism.
think it feeds off energy.
And
Like,
it's
honestly,
as
Crazy
you
how
feed
many
it,
times
feeds off
people will
energy.
be thinking, like those people were probably all thinking, I need to go see my chiropractor. And that one call, their moment you reached out, like tipped them over.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
But I feel
cool.
like that happens a lot because I've seen where it's like you need to just reach out because they're there ready. Like surprisingly, it's like just the literal action of making that effort.
Can't expect them to
They
just
will
come
do
to
it.
you and like, here's my money.
Or
Like,
the more you're like out and around, like people see you and they're like, oh yeah, I need to go see the chiropractor. I need to call in.
But again, I think it's just also sometimes you're just feeding the energy of something that's alive, right? Like when you give your kids a little bit of something, they are all of a sudden crazy, right? And so, like that's what we do a lot of. Like, I called my accountant the other day and said, hey, let's just go to lunch. I want to hear about your business. I want to hear what you guys do. I want to know what your ideas. Because anytime you get new ideas, it gives you new fuel. It gives you new excitement. This is exciting.
Totally.
Like we're talking to you guys. I don't know anything about your business, but even talking like having a like mind, like because I can see you guys understand a lot about business and stuff. It's like this is exciting. It's fun as business owners, as
It's super
entrepreneurs.
motivating.
Yeah. Like it doesn't matter what your field is.
You feel the energy, like just building off of that.
Yeah.
I think every podcast we leave feeling inspired and like we learn something from everyone. Everyone has something to give, and
For sure.
it's pretty cool.
Like ISU football.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna have to cut all that out. Like, we don't have
No one
any-
has no idea what we're talking about right now, actually.
We'll shit talk more later.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I got more.
There's
I got
plenty
more.
we could just
A whole podcast. So you guys have more employees though, right? Do you
We have
like,
one employee right now.
Okay.
We've had a couple up and down, but again, as business goes, and sometimes fear sneaks in, and you're afraid to jump in and get another one, or you had a bad experience, or the one you had, you didn't work out the way you hoped it would. And so you're like, we'll just hold off on a while. And then you burn everybody else out. And then you get forced
So
to
since you've opened your place, Ascend, Jackson's been the only hire you've had?
He's been my only doctor.
Okay. So those mistakes you were able to learn with the other guy, like hiring bad employees.
Oh yeah. I've been, well, and
having to deal with
we've had lots of employees, because it's hard. Like nobody's going to have the passion for your business that you have. Right. Yeah. And so finding causally motivated people is hard. That's why I use a lot of I use disc profiles, because I want to make sure that people are getting hired for a position that's important. Right.
Or see like what motivates them to see if we can does that match what we're motivated? Totally. And also how can we memotivate them?
It needs to match.
Because you don't want to put a high analytical person that likes to be on a computer in front of everybody and answering phones.
Yeah. Totally.
Right. They can do the job. I mean, because it's not hard to answer a phone, but they will be miserable for the rest of their lives, and they won't.
And they're going to quit.
Right. Yeah. But if you put them in a position where they're doing data entry and stuff like that, they're like, this is awesome. I love this. And I love the culture here. Blah, 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 blah. And so that's what we do. We spend a lot of time. And so, with the other doctor, we hired a lot, and I learned a lot in that aspect of okay, but it's still people are people, and you hire the right person, you think, and then you find out oh, that didn't work out, or they work out really well, but then they decide
leave.
Hey, it's time to move on, because my passion isn't necessarily being a receptionist my whole life.
Dang it.
And it's but isn't it?
But I needed you.
You want to be
the
receptionist
your
whole life.
Sure.
Yeah. And so,
and not take it personal either.
And I'm such a go with the flow type of guy. Sometimes it hurts me because I'm not strict enough about this is what I expect and things like that. Because I am a guy that figures stuff out, and I'm I just expect everybody to be able to do that, and they can't. Not everybody has that skill, and I didn't realize that. I just thought again, growing up in a farm community, you always just figured out how to fix stuff. I mean, everyone
knows how to sit down and just figure it out by themselves.
Baling twine and duct tape is a real thing, right?
Yeah.
Where you're the tractor's not working. give her a go. But there's a lot of people that just have never learned that, and that's okay. They have other skills, and that's, I think, one thing about being a leader and a manager is learning that not everybody's going to have your skills, and they don't have to. They can have other things. And that was hard when I hired Dr. Jaxson. I was like, why doesn't he do what I do? It's not that hard. But because he has different skills and different abilities, he doesn't need to do what I do. And that was the other thing I learned with the other doctor is at first we were I'm going to be just like him. And then we learned I actually have skills that aren't like him. Yeah. And it actually works better because we complemented each other so well, because he could do some things, I could do others that he couldn't do. And then people were getting way better care.
And it took us a year, I think, going in that realm of just kind of do what I do, follow what I do exactly. We want to be the exact same person. And I think a lot of people, because it's also a different personality, right? You're also getting a different personality change. So kind of getting that different perspective of what's going on and stuff like that. It's also good.
Yeah. Yin and yang. That way you can complement each other.
And we all just want to be taken care of, right? Yeah. In anything you do, it doesn't matter. I don't even care. I still go to Best Buy to buy my TVs and stuff instead of Amazon, because I want to feel taken care of. I just want to know that the person I talk to is there. And
you want to feel sold. You want a salesman to come to you and tell you that's the best TV in the world.
You're keeping Best Buy are you going to? You're keeping Best Buy open here.
Well, I'm just saying.
Have you been in there lately?
But it's the same thing. When you go places, you want to feel taken care of.
Totally.
You buy a car.
If you're getting that,
even when you buy coffee. What does Dutch Bros do for everybody, right?
I want them to leave me alone.
Lead into your car, basically.
Well, but their goal.
Got in there. You got chips.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm just trying to get as many endorsement deals right now. I'm name dropping everybody. I got Peyton Manning. I'm
surprised you don't have logos on your shirt right now.
I need to be. But I'm just saying, but you think about what it is that makes businesses successful. It's the connection that they try to make, right?
Totally.
And so again, with Dutch Bros, yes, they're sometimes a little overbearing, but their goal is to make you feel like you're part of the club, right? How was your day today? And then you didn't answer me, but,
regardless of what the action is, whether we like it or not.
Because it makes you forget that you're spending $17 on a pink drink.
Yeah, I'm wait, how much was that?
Yeah.
What was that price again?
But how many people, because you always talk about money and money, how many people spend money on that every single day because of how they feel when they go there?
Yeah. Consistency, right? So it's the same consistency.
Yeah.
Go and get your daily.
And this podcast
So
is
people
going
know
everywhere.
what to expect when they come in
Absolutely.
for you guys every time.
Like, well, even like we talk about Texas Roadhouse, like
You don't have a
you
moody
go to Texas
day.
Roadhouse, and you're like, the ribs are going to be amazing, and I know they're going to be amazing every time because it's Texas Roadhouse.
And they'll put you on a saddle and sing happy birthday to you.
I also know that
rolls.
my waiter or waitress is probably going to have a lot of energy. And I'm just saying, and they're going to do some type of, and when I'm old enough that Texas Roadhouse was cool because you could throw peanuts on the floor.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore.
It was an experience.
Or Five Guys.
It was the experience.
And
that you could
something
have.
like with chiropractic, like you have to make it stand out in some way. So
Yeah,
having that energy.
because there's a lot, and so you want to have a great experience when you're at the doctor's office. You want to, you want to be a little bit niche. Like I said, I focus on kids, pediatrics. I mean, we see families, we see everybody, but I want you to feel very comfortable to be there. Dr. Jaxson does a lot of sports because obviously he loves sports and stuff like that. So the things that we built around are like that, like the equipment that we bought has to do with sports or being better that way. And then
I also learned a lot about kids too, though, like because he did all pediatrics, and like in school, you maybe have like one class, maybe 2 classes on pediatrics. And then he got that master pediatric program. So like, I've been like a sponge trying to soak that up. Cause I'm like, that's also super cool. Cause I have kids. And so like being able to adjust my kids is also super like rewarding and stuff like that. And so just being able to do that for the past 3 years now of like, okay, like, yep, I can do that as well. I can also adjust pediatrics. I can also.
And I would imagine you probably have better success adjusting people when they can relax more.
Yeah.
And if you have them
absolutely.
naturally more relaxed, it's probably just easier overall.
when they feel, and you feel that trust, right? Like
I need
in
to
their
go to a
body, you mean,
chiropractor.
instead
I've
of
never
being
been.
tense.
I'm
What's that?
scared. I'm
You
scared to go to a
I'll come to
chiropractor.
us. There you go.
well,
I'll have to. I'm scared though.
and it's a common thing,
He's
right?
convinced me I'm going to break my neck or something.
Well, and it's a common thing. It's a common thing for people to feel that way. And that's why, again, with what we do, we try so hard to make sure people understand what they're doing. They have a good feeling in the office and they feel relaxed, and that we are there to connect with them. Because when you feel that connection, it's like, oh, I can trust that you know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Right? And because a lot of people have that fear.
Yeah.
They have that like overriding fear of like my neck's
Stop
getting
watching
broken.
social media. Just
YouTube
don't look at the
videos.
bad
That's
Otherwise.
the other thing. But, and I have to tell people that all the time too. You know, the purpose of social media, right? It's to get views.
to get some attention.
And so you're gonna do cool stuff like use that cool strap and stuff. Now,
the neck pulling.
right?
one.
And I saw a guy with a mallet one time going around hitting people,
Oh,
and I'm like,
interesting.
okay, great.
Like, I'll try that.
Does it work? Sure. I mean, I had a professor in school that told me if you could hit somebody with a hammer and they feel better, then do it. Like, we don't care. Like the goal is
they're
to make
asking.
people feel better. I'm
Medieval
not saying
doctor.
we do that. So don't hear me. But it's just one of those things where if you feel connected to that person that's taking care of you, it's easy. And I don't connect with everybody. Like there's somebody for
Sure.
everybody, right? Like,
Okay.
and you can't have that. You can't have that arrogance to think like, well, I'm going to cure everybody. No, there's going to be some people that just don't connect with me. And if I should refer them to somebody else, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Like you really
fine.
shouldn't have it like, because as long as you're seeing a chiropractor, you're doing better than most.
Sure.
Right. And
Yeah.
so a fear that you have is totally rational. People have that all the time because they've seen a lot of Kung Fu movies, right? Like old Chuck Norris just walks up to somebody and
Breaks the neck real
hashtag
quick.
Chuck Norris, give me a call. Anyway, I'm just going to name drop.
yeah.
But they have that fear, right?
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time in practice, well, you know, those actors go home at the end of the day. Right?
True.
It also, when you punch
That's
somebody,
funny.
when you punch somebody, it also doesn't make this noise.
Yeah.
So there is some farce in movies, right?
Sure.
And so, but everybody has a horror story about a chiropractor and things like that. And that's
Yeah.
why it's important that you feel that connection. You know that you can trust the person that you're with. And if you don't, then you probably should go somewhere else and find somebody else. Because there's also horror stories about other professions.
Oh yeah.
A
Everything there's
a
a
mechanic,
horror
a
story
car
about.
salesman.
Yeah.
Everything.
But then you find that one person and you're like, oh, call Al. He's the guy, you know, because you just like, I know he'll take care of you. I know he'll do that
Well,
job for you.
I think what sets us apart too is like we understand that like everyone's unique.
Yeah.
Like not everybody's the same. Like everyone's the same. Like everyone has like unique like challenges, like either mentally or like their body's different, or they've been through like different things, or they have side effects of different things. So it's like treating everybody like, if you're not comfortable with that, then like that's fine, and we can like get there. But like, or not. Like if you're like, I'm just not comfortable doing that. Okay, we'll do something else. Yeah.
Sure.
We'll do something else that makes you feel better.
The
And, like,
communication is there.
and also
about it.
go like kind of what I learned as well, and I don't want to speak for him, but like kind of going through school, like people like they tell you like, oh, this is the only way for people to feel better. Like you have to do this, and it's like if it makes somebody feel better, then like what does it matter?
Like textbook of like this
Yeah,
is
like-
what's better.
Yeah, like this is the only way that's going to make them feel better. And it's like, well, if I did this and it makes them feel better, then like, well, that's not supposed to make them better. Well, it did. So like whatever makes somebody feel better, like what is it? That's the whole goal, is to make somebody feel walk away feeling like I feel better. That's the whole goal.
Well, and being humble enough to know that you can't be that for everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
And that's
Totally.
what's been great. And again, working with that other doctor that I used to work with, like having that relationship with him still, because he's better at some things than I am. And he does a lot of pediatrics as well. And it's nice to be like, hey, I can't actually handle this. Like you really probably should be seeing this guy because his skills are made for that.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. Right.
Yeah.
Or another doctor in town that I'm like, hey, he does this different technique that's probably going to make you better faster than coming to see me. Because when you're willing to, again, steer people in the right direction and give them that, that freedom to say like, oh, this guy really does want what's best for me. Again, in business, that is going to bring more back to you than than just that one person.
I kind of feel like I can go to that guy and he's going to tell me exactly the truth, like what I need to hear, not just like trying to blow smoke.
Yeah.
It's like a mechanic. Like we had problems with our car and we had problems and like couldn't get it fixed. We couldn't find a mechanic that would like be straight up and just give us an honest price.
We had a
and,
good
like,
one in
not
Hawaii,
trying to upsell
so,
you.
yeah.
Everyone just felt scammy. And then I found one finally. Can refer you if you need one.
Yeah.
But, he was amazing. Exactly what
Was it YouTube?
No,
The
we
majority
tried.
have been
We
YouTube,
tried. But no, yeah, it was great. It was just like, you just had that vibe.
Well,
it was
it's the same
exactly
thing, like-
connected and he fixed it cheap, affordable, right?
Well, if you
It
have,
was fair.
Not cheap, but it was fair.
Right. It was like
but,
fair.
But even if it was a little bit more, but you knew you're getting taken care of, you would
I'm
be like,
going to go back every time.
Right.
I would never leave.
and,
Yeah.
and it's again, I think a lot of times in business, we miss that it's a lot of connection. And when you can connect, people will refer,
Just
they will come.
making you feel trusted.
Make you
It's
feel
all
like
about relationships.
it's
at the
all
end of
about
the
those
day. In
relationships you
life,
build.
Like it's
But-
all about relationships.
People
And
care too
chiropractic's
much
a lot-
nowadays. There's too much outside opinions of people and stuff. So like if you don't get along with someone, like people aren't willing to put up with that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to leave. Like,
But I think also it's willing to be humble enough to say like, hey, I'm a BMW mechanic. I can't fix a Ford diesel.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Right. Like
sure.
I'm a good mechanic, but
know
I'm
your
not
limits.
necessarily, that's not necessarily what I should do.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think it's okay to sometimes say like, hey, I know somebody else. It's okay.
Yeah.
But regardless of whatever those people have, they can come to you guys. And
Yeah.
if you
absolutely.
can't help them, you're going to point
Good
them that way. But
recommendation.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm doing a really good job of selling myself to other people. Like,
it's like,
oh, don't come to
will
us. I
recommend
can
you
send
to
you to the
them.
right person.
Or
No.
even we've had people in the past, or even kids in the past, that like maybe come with like ear infections and stuff like that, and a lot of times we're like, okay, we can help out, and sometimes we can take the ear infections away. Or I mean, I'm using this example, but sometimes it's like bad enough where we're not like prideful enough that we're like, hey, honestly, you're probably gonna might need antibiotics for this, or
Well, you just have to have a good connection with people.
Yeah.
I mean, a good relationship with multiple doctors, because there are complications that happen. And if I cut my arm off, I'm not going to a chiropractor.
Exactly.
Sure.
But to kind of flip
know
it
your
back,
realm.
flip it back to us, we are good at what we do, and we are really smart at what we do, and our business is growing because of we are good with connecting people, and we have a lot of really good reviews and things like that because of what we do. And so I say that in the business aspect of like be willing to be humble and allow yourself to not be the one only person, but at the same time be amazing at what you do. And we are amazing at what we do. And when it comes to kids, when it comes to pregnancy, when it comes to families and taking care of sports injuries, like we are good. And it's in our realm, and if we don't feel like it's in our realm, we're happy to send it somewhere else. But but a lot of times it's in our realm.
yeah,
He will do
You're
it.
just being
can do
humble.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what is your advice then for an entrepreneur trying to start their own business or pursue a passion?
Number one, have a vision
Okay.
and read everything. Like there's so many smart people out there that have done it.
Yeah.
It's my little kids all the time are like, Dad, you don't understand. I do actually. I was a kid once. I was 12 once.
I know.
And so there's people that have gone out and made the mistakes for us. We don't have to try to figure it out. But I think having a vision of what you are, what you want, a great resource is Simon Sinek's work. Know your why. Because if you know your why, everything else will fall into place. And then there's another book, I don't remember who wrote it, but Vivid Vision. Again, it's a lot of these just like knowing so strong in your core what wakes you up every day. Because money doesn't wake you up. Right? Because ask any millionaire or billionaire that does what they do. It's not because they're like, oh, it's because I'm making more money today. It's the passion that they have of their
I
vision.
haven't experienced that yet, so I'll let you know.
Well, but I'm a billionaire.
Also going patients wise
call you
too,
back.
going like patient or like people that come in the office or whatever. It's also understanding their why. Like I've had low back pain for years. Okay, well, why are you doing it right now? You've had back pain for 6 years. Why are you doing it right now? Well, I have a golf tournament. Okay, there it is.
It's what they want.
We're trying to figure out how to get you to play in this golf tournament.
But
right?
Solving this
it's
specific
understanding
issue.
people's like why.
Yeah, they're motivators, right? But in business, I think if you don't have a vision, you're just floating, right? And
Completely.
And I know what you're saying, like, yeah, it's nice to have a paycheck and stuff like that, but reality, like, I bet you didn't say like, I really want to open Film Garage because it's going to make me tons and tons of money. That's
Absolutely not. Yeah.
well,
I wish.
I wish. That's the goal.
But it's an avenue, right?
Yeah.
For sure,
Like,
it was the freedom, being able to do what I love.
but does it?
Yeah.
It does have the ability to make you tons and tons of money, but that's not the motivator. Correct?
Sure.
Yeah,
Like that's not what's
absolutely.
going to push you
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
money can only go so
It's
far.
like fingers
But if
crossed
you,
one day.
but if you wake up every single day and you're like, man, I'm excited to go because my vision is to elevate people's lives. So it doesn't matter who I come in contact with, whether they're in my practice or whether it's on the street. I'm excited to get up in the morning because I know that like I can be better for somebody in their life.
For sure. No, I think that's great.
Really nice.
Yeah. I know some people like think of work as work and you don't have to enjoy it, but I think you should. If you got to do it your whole life, why not enjoy it? Like,
Well,
Enjoy your life.
those people, and I'm not dogging on anybody because we've all been there, but those people that think of work as work are employees,
Sure.
right?
yeah,
Totally.
Yeah.
They're not
Nothing
entrepreneurs.
wrong with it. It's just
There's nothing wrong with it.
Entrepreneurs
Not
are
a-
different
not
than
what makes us
employees.
happy.
Right. Because there's days where I wake up and I think, you know what would be nice if I went and I got a paycheck and I came home and didn't worry about a single thing after.
Honestly,
Yeah,
though,
we joke.
some
Right?
days.
Like I clock in, I clock out. That's an employee.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm super passionate about my job. And there are some employees that are. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying like, but a lot of
each
times
their
when you
own.
just think I have to work or I have to work to make a paycheck, I have to work to survive. It's an employee. And that's okay. There's lots of us out there and it's great. But when you're an entrepreneur, it's that next idea of like, okay, but what's my passion? What's
How can this
really
grow?
driving
How
me?
can this grow?
And how can I make that? And I think that's the downfall too of, you know, what advice do I have for people starting a business is don't be an employee in your own business, right? Like don't let yourself
Yeah.
fall in that trap where you get comfortable and you're literally
Yeah.
like, well, I'm an employee. Cause then you, all of a sudden you're like,
Now you can't leave.
all of a sudden you're like, I have to go to work today.
Yeah.
Right. Instead of being like, I get to go to work. I'm excited to see people. It's like, I have to go adjust people. I have to go take care of people. I have to hear somebody tell me that they don't want their neck to get cracked. And it's great. And we all go through different, stages in our careers where you have the excitement, you have the joy, you have the downtime, you have the, what are we going to do? I'm tired of this. I'm bored.
Yep.
Then you're excited again. It's kind of like this awesome
It is.
entrepreneur roller
Motivate
coaster.
yourself again and keep
And
it
that's
going.
that's where like understanding sometimes like, okay, what can I let go of? Because really what bogs us down and makes us feel like employees as entrepreneurs is the stuff that we're not letting go of. Right. It's the billing. It's the stuff that you're like, I'm not passionate about
things
that.
you just fall asleep thinking about and
Right.
wake up thinking about
Push it off every day.
if they're not taken care of, right?
Right. The worries that you're like, oh, I didn't do that. No. Or I,
Once again, it's the adding by subtraction type.
For sure.
Okay. So ascendchiro.id.
Ascend Chiro ID.
.com.
It's hard. It says
Google them.
It says
Ascend
Ascend
Chiropractic.
Chiropractic.
it's literally Ascend Chiroid. Because we live in Idaho and there was already Ascend
Ascend
Chiro was
Chiroid.
already taken. So
like
I put the
hemorrhoid.
ID on there and then and then afterwards I was like, that doesn't read the way I thought it did.
After you already made the domain.
That's
But
funny.
those are, it's Google's the easiest anymore.
Classic.
But, and then give us a call. But
Okay.
appreciate you guys letting us come on. This
thanks
is
for
This is
coming
great hearing your
on.
story.
This is awesome.
I love talking business, and
Yeah.
so it's good times.
Well,
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks.